learning more information about a shooting that involved an off-duty police officer right outside of Buffalo Wild Wings in Greenville Friday night. WNCT was the only crew on the scene when the investigation took place. Josh Birch joined us live from the sports bar with the new details. Josh.
Well, Angela, despite the SBI being the ones investigating this case, they did give Greenville police permission to release the names of those people involved in this incident. And despite now knowing more information about what happened Friday night, controversy continues to grow. It was anything but a quiet night at Buffalo Wild Wings Friday after a fight broke out outside of the restaurant. Greenville police say an off-duty officer, now identified as Gary Barrett, a 20-year veteran of the department, was flagged down to help break it up. Police say despite identifying himself as an officer, one of the individuals, identified as 25-year-old Tasambi Clark, pulled out a gun and started shooting at the officer. Police say Barrett then returned fire, striking Clark, who later died at Vidant Medical Center. The Pitt County NAACP is calling for a thorough investigation.
Because they're both black does not change anything significantly because of the shooting that we've had throughout the country.
Clark wasn't a stranger to run-ins with the law. He had multiple charges and convictions in both Martin and Pitt counties, including discharging a firearm in an occupied property, breaking and entering, and possession of a firearm by a felon, and has served more than a year in prison. Despite that, Henderson says the officer in this case shouldn't have shot to kill.
Our officers, police officers, should be trained enough that they don't have to always shoot to kill.
Henderson says he's familiar with the officer involved because the NAACP has filed complaints against him in the past.
I don't think that he really had a good relationship in the black community.
While the investigation continues, he says he wants a federal agency to come in and for the SBI to turn it over to them.
Many times there's too much close ties with your local police office and the state SBI.
Asked the Greenville police about those complaints, and they said that since it does deal with personnel, that would not be a public record. I also spoke to some businesses in the shopping center around Buffalo Wild Wings who says trouble just seems to surround the restaurant. However, they're focusing on making sure this type of incident doesn't happen at their business. Of course, we will keep you up to date with any updates with this story. Live in Greenville, Josh Birch, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Josh. We also spoke with members of the Greenville Police Community Relations Committee. Member Jermaine McNair says the department did a good job quickly providing information and calming any fears or concerns in the community.
I think that's the easiest and best way to show equity in your community, to show that they are important, to give them the information that they need to answer their questions.
Officer Barrett is on paid administrative leave pending the results of the investigation. That's standard protocol when an officer is involved in a shooting. Now, this is not the first incident to take place at this Buffalo Wild Wings location. We looked into crime surrounding the restaurant in April 2014. WNCT covered a fight that carried over from B-Dubs to the Glendale Apartments complex. 3 men were shot during the incident and all were taken to Vidant Medical Center. According to the Raid's online crime map, 16 incidents were reported at the restaurant in the past year. That includes a concealed carry violation, intoxicated and disruptive behavior, and multiple injury to real property reports.